Welcome, students. Today's lesson is called Parallel and Perpendicular Lines. You're going to be asked to write an equation in slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b, for a new line that passes through the given point, the point they give you, but it's also parallel to this line that they give you. Well, what we know about parallel lines is they have exactly the same slope. So if we look at our y equals mx plus b form, in order to write a line in this equation, we need to know m and we need b. Well, we can find m by looking off our given equation because it'll be exactly the same. In order to find b, though, we're going to use the point they give us. So we're going to plug 2 in for y. The slope goes in for slope. -4 gets plugged in for x. And then we don't know b yet. And that's what we're doing, is solving for b first. So when we get ready to start this, 1/2 times 4, simply, you can cross out your 2, make it a 1, make your 4 a 2. So a negative times a negative leaves a positive 2 plus b equaling 2. When you subtract 2 away, you're going to get your b is 0. So when we're going to take that 0 and plug it right back in here for b. So now our answer is y equals -1/2 x. And we don't have to say plus 0 because there is no b. So this stops. This is an equation that goes through this point, -4, 2, but it's parallel to the given line they give us because the slopes match exactly. And we'll do it again over here. This time we'll start out with y equals mx plus b. We're going to plug our y in for y, the -3 in for y. The slope of the given equation will go here because they're going to be exactly the same. And then x goes in for x, and then plus b because we don't know what our b is. Remember, it can't be -5 because it's not going to be the same line. It's got to have a different y-intercept. And we'll start solving. -3 equals 12 plus b. Subtract 12 away, and we'll get -15 is what our b is. Once we find b, we're going to take b and we're going to plug it back into our new equation. So it will read y equals, same slope, 3x, but then -15 for the b. And there's our new line using the given information. Now we're going to go on to perpendicular. Write an equation in slope-intercept form for the line that passes through the given point and is perpendicular. Perpendicular lines, the slopes are opposite reciprocals. There is no relation to the b, to the y-intercept. It's strictly the slope, opposite reciprocals. So we're going to do the same process. Start with our y equals mx plus b form. We're going to plug our y in for y of our point that's on this line. Our slope, though, instead of being exactly the same, since they're perpendicular, we have to flip it and change the sign. So instead of being negative, it'll be a positive. Instead of being 2, it'll be a 1/2 because you're going to flip it over. That 2/1 flips to 1/2 x. And then again, we don't know b. Now, hang on, I got to go back and put in my x. Got ahead of myself. -3 goes right here for x, and then plus b. We have to solve for b. So as I start to solve this, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of my denominator by multiplying it on both sides. Times 2 times 2. Everything gets multiplied by 2. This becomes -4. These two cancel out, leaving -3 and then plus 2b. because every piece gets multiplied by 2. Now I will add 3 to the other side. I'll get -1 equals 2b. Then divide by 2. And my b is -1/2. I'm going to plug that back in for b of my new equation. So a line that's perpendicular to the given line would be y equals, instead of -2, it's going to be a +1/2 x, and then -1/2 for the b. And there's a line perpendicular to the one they gave us. Now let's do another one to go over that again. Y equals mx plus b. We're going to plug y in for y. The slope is going to be the opposite reciprocal. So instead of 1/2, flip it back over, will be a 2. Instead of positive, it becomes a -2. I'll put my -5 in for x, and then plus b. That's what I'm solving for first. That'll be 2 equals +10 plus b. Subtract my 10, and I'll have -8 equals b. Now I'm going to plug that -8 into my new equation. The answer will be then y equals, my perpendicular slope is flipped and opposite, so -2x, and my b is a -8. Once I plug everything in, I can give you a line that's perpendicular to that one. We're going to do one more of the perpendiculars because they can be a little more confusing. Let me get rid of my screen shade and give me a little bit more room here. All right, let's go through this again. Y equals mx plus b. We're going to put y in for y. 6 goes here. Slope will be flipped and opposite, so it'll be a +4. X will be 2, and then we're solving for b, because this is a new line. We don't care about that b. It means nothing. And so 6 equals 8 plus b. Subtract 8, and we'll end up with -2 is b. Now we're going to plug that -2 into our new equation. The answer will be y equals 4x minus 2. And there is your answer that's perpendicular to the given line. I will see you in class.